Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 28th of November. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now I'm going to give you a broader overview of what to expect, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you, in forensic detail, all the key dates and influences particularly relevant to your sign. Now, Mars has been in a really difficult alliance with Neptune since the start of October. And by the end of this week, that comes to a close. But also this week, Mars is forging a very structurally helpful angle to Saturn. Now, they're both in air signs, and although Mars is continuing to retreat backwards through to the 12th of January, the angle to Saturn means that where we think things through or discuss things in a very well thought through manner, the chances are that this plan or project can gain traction. So that's really helpful. Now we do have that sparkling alliance between Mercury and Venus in the sign of Sagittarius, and that's opposite Mars this week, but that can create some flirty moments, certainly some vivacious energy, but also the square between Saturn and Uranus, which is dominated within 3 degrees of the exact square over the last couple of years. By the end of this week, that also comes to a close. And also by Sunday at the end of this week, Neptune ends its long retrograde too. So the innovation that Neptune square with Mars has created is going to ease, particularly with Saturn's support of Mars. It is true that we still need to be aware that Mars's retrograde can cause frustrations when things aren't moving as quickly as we would like. But in general, we are coming to the end of a very difficult and intense period of time, and we're still bathing in the energy of that Sagittarius new moon. So a more progressive time, things are going to start to feel much less frustrating. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac presentation and understand what your personal prospects are for 2023 based on your astrological data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you your forecast plus the rest of this year 3, and in my special package of 30% off, also your life roadmap, your character analysis. All this information will give you searing insights to guide your moves future forwards. Please see the link below. Also, if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And if you already are subscribed, thank you so much for your support and all your views. So Capricorn, your week commencing the 28th of November forecast does suggest that some issues that have perhaps been a little bit out of sight, perhaps some issues you're not even conscious of, could bubble into the open. And the reason for this is that Mars and Mercury are in an opposition. And Mercury is located in your 12th house, which can be to do with the things that we're keeping very tightly held to our own chests, our own confidences. But also it could be that someone is going to articulate a point of opinion that's a bit more piercing because of Mars being in your 6th house, which is, people who are surgeons or do very precise work often have Mars in the 6th house or in Virgo. But of course it is in Gemini and it is in retrograde. So Gemini is very much about discussion. So Mars here for you, compromised by Neptune the last couple of months, has probably affected your physical vitality a little bit. Other people's, ideas, just the general maelstrom of communication, the white noise that's all out there, may have been quite draining the last 8 weeks or so. Now, of course, Neptune goes forwards at the end of this week, and that's really helpful. And also Mars forges a very constructive link to Saturn in your 2nd house. So a financial issue which you can approach with your normal thoroughness and determination can actually you can get really clear about it. But I just feel because of that energy, the Sun, Venus and Mercury all in the 12th house, that can, in traditional astrology, be about secret enemies. So maybe someone's going to articulate something this week that you're not expecting, which could be unsettling. The great news, of course, is that your ruler Saturn, which has been compromised by the restless energies of Uranus over the last couple of years, that aspect comes to a close as this week completes. So for us all, I feel there is going to be a freeing up of energy. It just so happened for you, because of the collective in Sagittarius, that suggests that you've been feeling a bit more thoughtful, perhaps a little more reflective, maybe keeping a bit of a distance from others, and perhaps also you've been reviewing some relationships, because Venus in the 12th house can cause separations. But equally, there could be someone who surprises you by in some way letting you know that they're attracted to you. Venus opposite Mars, but Venus in the 12th house. They may not do this in a very public way. For example, watch out for someone's body language, or it could be that a discreet connection, or it could be someone linked to your past that comes into your thinking or comes up on your social media. But in general, quite a vulnerable set of energies can be aroused by the more attacking and, as I say, piercing energy of Mars. But of course, once Mercury and Venus make their way into your sign, followed by the Sun, you're going to have a much more outgoing phase, which evolves in December, later in December, which you're really going to welcome. But at this stage, I think it is sort of dealing with some tender matters that may have got pushed to one side, or you're just not conscious of how some other people view you.